Guys, I just spent $120,000 on this remodel when I intended on spending $60,000. Well guys, it is officially done. This is my first true BRRRR method when it comes to flipping a house. If you've been following me for a while, I'm really not interested in flipping properties. I really want to remodel homes or buy homes that have the opportunity for me to rent them out for the foreseeable future. And by foreseeable future, I'm really talking for the next decade or two, or potentially really until I'm in my 60s or 70s. Don't have a ton of desire to flip just because there's a ton of risk involved. And you'll kind of see what I'm talking about here shortly with the risk with flipping. So I'm gonna go ahead and start you off first off with the kitchen. The whole kitchen is brand new, starting from the interior of the garage or the entrance from the garage here. Initially right here, there was a countertop with a built-in desk. How many desks are you seeing nowadays in kitchens? It was a very old kind of just style at the time. We went ahead and knocked that out. This whole wall here has been sheetrocked and as well as textured out to create an island here. This island would have otherwise been attached to the wall here. So there's two kind of entries into the living room. Everything you're looking at really in this entire house is almost brand new, and I'll kind of explain my intention there. So we've got new cabinets, obviously new quartz countertops, new stainless steel appliances throughout, new sink, new hardware, new pendants here, as well as new recessed lighting throughout the kitchen. This kitchen itself was one of the biggest things I wanted to pour a little bit more money into, just because when you're talking about remodeling homes, kitchen and master bathrooms are where you really want to put your money. And if you guys remember this particular flooring, instead of leveling the foundation, what people had actually done is they went in here and poured new concrete to make the floor level so they could relay the kind of old hardwood floor that was in here. So when we did all of the foundation work, it obviously had to be re-leveled as well. I think I have some previous footage that the baseboards down here were significantly higher than the rest of the baseboards because, again, they came here and just laid a bunch of concrete down rather than fixing the actual foundation itself. So obviously throughout here, we've got this new luxury vinyl plank. This is going to go throughout the entire house, except for the bedrooms. Before there was some carpet in the hallway and living room here. Went ahead and went with the sturdy LVP throughout the house, except for, again, the bedrooms. So the first wing here we've got is kind of like a guest suite. We went ahead and remodeled this entire bathroom here as well. And inside of this guest bedroom, this is perfect for like a mother-in-law suite or maybe a teenager that wants to be apart from the rest of the bedrooms and bathrooms. It's on the other side of the house. So in this bedroom, we didn't go over the top. We just did fresh paint, new texture where it needed to be, a new lighting fixture, and just freshened it up. At the end of the day, the bedrooms, for the most part, were fine. We just wanted to make it a little bit more modern. Now in the guest suite here, we probably, if I were to do it again, I would have went with a little bit nicer tile. To be honest with you, this was the first contractor's buy without the approval by me. So we went with kind of a cheap, older, kind of wood-looking tile. I don't love it. I don't necessarily hate it. It's a guest suite bathroom, so I'm not real concerned about the texture and about the color here. New vanity, new toilet, as well as some basic level tile on the floor. Moving into the living room here. We do have a dining room as well as the countertops here that will allow you to kind of do a high-end, bar stool look as well as a kitchen table. This is going to be the living room. A lot of work in here wasn't done entirely either. We've got still the original siding here in the living room. The siding actually went all the way to the ceiling, so we went ahead and got rid of that, but it still has some character left here. We freshened up the fireplace as well as colored the mantle as well as the fireplace cover. There was built-ins here that we went ahead and went away with. We busted all of that out, retextured the walls, and put the additional siding down. Through construction, we did have a situation where the old sliding glass door, it really wasn't sliding at the time, busted, so we've got a brand new sliding glass door. I will, give you guys an update on the backyard. The backyard doesn't have all of the crap that it once had when we were demoing everything, but you can see it is a little bit of a disaster. I'm having people come out next week to finish the landscaping altogether. So in terms of work that's left on this house, landscaping is it. So we're gonna go ahead and go down the hallway. This has 3 full bedrooms as well as 2 baths. Going in the first bedroom, obviously new carpet, new lighting fixture, new paint and texture where it needed to be. You can see the original wall color here because we didn't paint inside of the actual closet. This was the color of the wall before. This is the color of the wall now. So going into the hallway bath here, same kind of tile that we did in the guest suite. Again, it was tile that was purchased from the original contractor. I actually have an entire vlog showing and saying that that particular contractor was fired. The additional contractor that I hired afterwards, I also had issues with, but completely opposite issues. The work was being done, just the work cost far too much, which I'll go into in another video. But moving on to the other bedroom here, again, simple fixes here. We didn't even do new baseboards. We just did basic lighting fixture, color, new carpet, and called it a day. Now moving on to the master, this is probably where a lot of the money went, because if you remember when I first purchased the house, you had an interior door to the bathroom here, as well as another door here. The issue is the vanity inside of the master basically was facing each other. You had a double vanity, but you had a vanity here as well as a vanity here and a mirror sandwiched between the two with a wall. So there was really no open concept when it came to this bathroom at all. However, if you come in here now, we went ahead and demoed that wall completely, redid the plumbing, and we've got a true double vanity here with a mirror, still the two closets, but we've done very nice upscale tile in here. You can see that the tub is brand new. This whole surround here is all brand new. And we did a little bit enlargement on the master shower. The master shower before was probably only to this wall, but we deepened it a little bit to make it a little bit larger. Because of that, we did shrink this particular closet down just a couple inches, but just a couple inches is going to help that master shower just look a little bit bigger. So there are a couple aspects of the house, throughout the house, I guess, that we didn't necessarily update. For instance, cabinetry up here, you can still very much see the character or the oldness of the house. We did do new fixtures, but this is still very well-maintained cabinetry that honestly, at the end of the day, there's real no rhyme or reason that we needed to necessarily replace this. So small little items here and there, you'll see that I didn't necessarily update, but at the end of the day, it wasn't something that needed to be done. Now, when it comes to the two largest items in this particular house that needed to be fixed was actually plumbing and foundation. And I'll give you guys an insight just how bad it was based on the garage here. Now, the garage is something I'm probably going to be doing in the future after tenants have, paid me for a few years, because replacing this concrete is insanely expensive. But you can kind of see over here how much damage, if you don't actually address foundation, you can see a hole basically underneath the concrete slab there, and this whole entire garage floor needs to be redone. Now you can also see the holes where foundation work was drilled into and piers were put into the ground to support the actual garage floor from continuing to deteriorate, in which it was. And you can also see here that they touched up a little bit, but these cracks, these massive cracks in the wall from the foundation shifting have been retextured or just kind of touched up at the end of the day. So these are items that you're not necessarily going to see when you walk through the house, but they're items that need to be addressed if they are a concern with the house. Now I can tell you the individual that passed away here actually bought this house with the existing foundation issues, and then also the foundation issues were an issue from a considerably old plumbing system. So plumbing's something that you guys can't physically see when you're walking through a property. I knew when I bought this property that the foundation was absolutely devastated. It's something that needed to be done. I had a plumber come out and he said all of the plumbing basically needed to be done at the end of the day. And the plumbing was the real reason why the foundation continued to be shifting. Even when the foundation work was done, they could actually see prior work that another foundation company had done to adjust the foundation, but you're gonna continue to have issues if you didn't replace the plumbing. So one of the things that renters aren't gonna really care about when they're actually trying to apply and rent here is the plumbing, but at the end of the day, the plumbing is what was continuously causing the foundation issues. So I addressed not just some of the plumbing, but all of the plumbing throughout the house. So you can kind of see here with the blue and red topping here, as well as with the water heater. Again, plumbing you're really not gonna see because it's all behind the sheetrock itself, but everything here, including the water heater, including the drain lines, including just everything plumbing related, has been redone. This is all new PEX to the water heater, PEX for the washer and dryer, as well as, let's see underneath the sink if you can see the new plumbing underneath here as well. You can see all of this is new piping. That's about as much of the plumbing work that I'm going to really be able to show you guys, but I can tell you that in itself costs a tremendous amount of money. So the difference with my channel and a lot of what you're gonna see on HGTV or even a lot on YouTube is you're just going to see, hey, become a real estate agent, own a real estate company, buy rental properties, and you're gonna, just make a ton of money. However, my channel, I really want to show you guys the real inside and out of real estate. So on this particular property, I'm not going to go into exact numbers because I want to make a whole entire video in itself about the numbers and what my intentions were up front and then kind of how I wound up with the numbers at the end of the day. But I can tell you, I wanted to spend about $60,000, maybe $70,000 on this property, and I spent almost $120,000. Now this property is still going to be cash flowing. I'm still going to basically be in the property for little to no money down, but I can tell you firsthand that flipping a house is a nightmare. Now I actually made an entire video of why I will never flip a house again, and this particular property, I should have probably listened to myself and not flipped a property again. But this particular house is not something that I'm turning and putting on the market tomorrow. It's actually something that I'm intending on holding long term. This is 2021. I'm probably going to have this property until I'm 45, 50, 60 years old. So I'm at least going to hold on to this property for a decade and a half, maybe 2 or 3 decades. And the reason being is because all of the work that I put into this, I know single-handedly it's been done. Now, when you buy other properties and the foundation work has been done. Well, you may know the company, you may not know the company, you may know the person that did the work, you may not know the person that did the work. With this particular property, everything's been done. So when I do put a renter in here in the next month, I know I'm going to have very little to no CapEx or maintenance cost. So again, transparency at the end of the day when it comes to my YouTube channel is really what I want to put out there. I do want to make a ton of educational content to educate people out there because 4 years ago, I only knew about real estate was from HGTV, and I'm still learning every single day. I'm not an experienced flipper or an experienced rental investor. I've only been in the industry for 4 years, and I would say a majority of my expertise is helping people either buy, sell, or invest in real estate because that's what I do on a daily basis. I am not a contractor. I am not a flipper. This is something that I would never want to do full time. I do love real estate, and I do love the opportunity that it gives me to purchase properties like this, but I can tell you firsthand that I've learned a ton when it comes to flipping houses. Now, if you stayed through the entire video and the walkthrough of this particular property that I have finished up, stay tuned for my next video because I'm actually going to be filming a sit-down talking head video, just breaking down the numbers and kind of showing people how you can fix some of the mistakes that I've made because no one's perfect, although a lot of social media is just about how great everything is. I'm going to show you the true numbers to this property. I'm still making money. I'm not going broke. It's still a property that's going to make me money for the foreseeable future, but it could have made me a lot more money. Thanks again for watching, guys. I'm doing my best to put out as much content as I can, anywhere from a video or 2, sometimes 3 a week regarding just my life as a real estate agent. And again, transparency when it comes to purchasing properties, how to purchase properties, what to do, what not to do. And I'm just doing my best to continue to push this YouTube channel out to as many people as I can, because at the end of the day, 4 years ago, I didn't know anything. So this is really my intent to just educate as many people as I can. So thanks again. Make sure to like and subscribe. It really does help, and stay tuned for the next video.